All right, and we are live. How's it going, everyone? Jay here from Ellington Tech. So we've got about another minute. I'll give about a minute and a half for everybody to kind of hop in. Okay. All right, so we'll give everybody a little bit of time to hop in. Okay. Hope everyone's having a great holiday. Ate a lot of food on Thanksgiving, so I'm excited about the other ones. I feel like I eat more food on the other holidays, even though Thanksgiving is kind of all about eating, kind of all about eating, in theory, I guess, right? Um, so I'm just going to give about one more minute for everybody to hop in. Again, hope everybody's doing well and is having a really amazing holiday season. I'm also going to put the comments so they will show in the in our stream here. So we'll let that hop in as well. Okay. All right. Cool. So we'll go ahead and kick it off. Again, my name is Jay, and I'm the CEO of Ellington Technologies. We are a digital partner for small businesses, working with small business in all types of industries. We find ourselves working a lot in the tourism industry and travel industry, but also we work with a lot of financial institutions and medical companies even. So we're quite versatile there. We do a couple of simple things, right, to help increase consistency in our marketing, our customer service and operations. And all of these things result into an increase in your return on investment. Things that you might not think are that important. And I'm going to show you exactly why they're important and what's really going to help you kind of push the needle forward. So without further ado, we will go ahead and kick it off. Okay. All right, you guys might hear a couple of notifications come in. Apologies there. And again, our company is called Ellington Technologies. I'll put the link to our website here so you can see it in the comments. That is ellingtontech.com. Okay. All right, we'll do a screen share. First, I'm going to upload the PDF. I'll try to make this more conversational so that we're not just watching me do a presentation. You're going to get a lot out of this, and I'm super excited for you guys. And I think it'll provide a tremendous amount of perspective and a tremendous amount of opportunities that you might not have really seen or that you might have overlooked, right? And these are going to be very big things, very big opportunities that we can really capitalize on. So we'll go ahead and share it. With that being said, the point of this webinar is from stuck to scaling, simple growth strategies for small businesses. Okay. So a little bit about myself and the company. We are really heavily focused on performance, but also we see ourselves as a digital partner for small businesses. So we partner with you. We set up these different automations and AI automations and things like that to help streamline portions of your business, right? Like I said, it revolves between customer service, marketing, and operations. Everything that we do contributes greatly to ROI, but we also double as a full service marketing agency. So we're able to help you with those things as well. Many of the things that we do is chatbots, AI voice agents, email marketing, social media. We do paid ads and things like that as well. And so I myself, I've got more than 15 years of experience and more than $100 million in ad spend. I got my start in big tech. With that being said, we typically average about a 2,000% return, and all the way up to about a 4,000%, right? Email marketing, 4,200% average. People make $42 per $1 in ad spend, which is pretty significant. Some of the companies that we've worked with, all the way up to companies doing over $4 billion a year, like Corpay. And, as a part of Corpay, there's like, Fuelman, which Corpay owns, Comdata, and all these other companies. We've also worked with some nonprofits like Prevent Child Trafficking Nevada, and things like that. So, all right. So we talked a little bit about that. As far as the agenda for our conversation today, we're going to start with going over some customer service stuff, right? And how it's going to contribute to making your business better. We're also going to hit on some digital strategies and things like that. And we're going to talk about some website stuff as well. I have a message coming in, you guys. So let me get this going real quick. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So then we're going to get to digital strategy, then website, then SEO content, and then we're going to get to follow up. We're going to talk a lot about follow up systems, action plans, and we're going to talk a bit about. Oh, sorry about that. We're going to talk a bit about a actionable step over the course of 4 weeks to improve all of these things. So I know there's a bit of fade right there. So sorry if some letters are kind of cut off. But why small businesses get stuck? So why are these small businesses typically getting stuck, right? And a lot of time is they're really stretching themselves thin, right? But not to mention they don't really have a predictable way of getting leads. That's going to be super important, and we'll talk about why. Referrals aren't enough. They're not getting a lot of referrals. Digital presence isn't working for you. And customer service depends on you being available 24/7. Like I said, we use AI for customer service now, right? We still have a lot of autonomy there, but we're using AI for customer service to answer a lot of these questions. When it comes to doing everything manually, it's better to have AI automate many of these redundant things where you can have AI take care of it. You don't need to have an employee there, and it's going to be 100% consistent, and it's going to be able to answer questions, talk to customers, and do all these things that you do in the most conversational way. And we also want to have predictive lead funnels, predictive way of getting leads, and a predictive process for nurturing your customers and being able to answer their questions. I'll give you an example. We've got Cowley's Beach Buggies. They are a tour operator, golf cart rental company based out of Panama City. We have a chatbot on their website. We're running ads as well for them. So they get traffic coming from ads and organic traffic. It's going to come to the website. They're going to see that chatbot. It's going to engage with them. That chatbot is ask them questions. They're going to be able to answer. It's going to be able to answer any question that they have. And I'll show you guys an example. And then from there, those leads, it's going to conversationally get their information, their email, all those things, save it to their CRM. And then automatically the AI is going to follow up with that person maybe 10 or 20 minutes later, just to re-engage them to make sure they got everything that they needed. Not only is the customer going to think like, oh, this is an awesome experience. They actually followed up with me as well, but it's going to make them think about you again and then possibly re-engage. And that alone is going to increase conversions by about 70% digitally, which is insane, right? So we'll go ahead and go to the next slide. So the scaling formula, we focus on visibility, trust, conversions, customer service, follow-up, and that's going to equal to growth. It's a simple formula, really. When in terms of visibility, that could be Google, social media, and Google Business Profile. If you don't know what Google Business Profile is, it's that thing when you're searching for a restaurant late at night and you can see like, okay, they got a above a 4.5. I'm going to check this restaurant out. They're clean, things like that, where people can find that immediate social proof because they trust Google, but they don't trust you yet if they don't know you, right? And so that's a really great point of visibility. Then we've got trust. So reviews, that could be also Google reviews. That's most of what people are going to look at. And then your reputation. What does your reputation look like on Google? What is your digital footprint, right? People can go on your Facebook. Like I'll usually go on somebody's Facebook. I know a lot of our clients, they say their customers will go and look at their Facebook and their Instagram to make sure they're legitimate. And then we've got conversion, your website and your messaging, making sure that you got a nice website that's not hard to look at, right? And that the messaging on the website or the copy speaks to what you do. Customer service, fast response, AI assistance, zero friction, and follow up, being able to actually follow up and nurture those leads. Let's talk a little bit about customer service. Google heavily prioritizes um, user behavior. A part of customer service isn't just answering people's questions and making sure that they've got a good attitude for you, right? Or toward you. It's also about when people come to your website, right? How long are they staying on your website? If they go in and leave immediately, that shows a low level of engagement. And so Google looks at that. And if they see that people are staying on your website longer, then they're likely to promote what you do. It's that simple. Are they able to get answers quickly, right? Having a chat bot on the website will give people access to immediate customer service versus them having to call or email you. Do they convert into a call? Google can track if they're calling you. Because there's these things, right? They're called, browser data, server data, right? They're able to grab that and know if they call you, especially from the phone, whether they're doing any kind of booking or emailing you or anything like that. Cool. Here goes a screenshot of a high level overview from a screenshot that I found on Google Analytics. And this is pretty much what it looks like. We work heavily with Google Analytics. As you can see, the bounce rate, right? That's kind of like how long people are staying on the website versus leaving right away. And that's a super important metric for kind of identifying engagement. Another part of that I wanted to mention is your website. If you've got like not a very nice looking website, that might be an indicator of why sales could be low as well. And I'll go over that as well. Google explicitly prioritizes fast response, helpful information, making sure the content on your website is relevant, and then smooth user experience and also engagement. Like I said, being able to engage with people at a high level. And so, as you can see, I put some screenshots here. And as you can see on the screenshots, this person up top, they don't have a chat bot or a chat widget on their website. Google, I wouldn't say they frown upon it, but they prefer you have one. They prioritize that. And then the second person does. The first person, they're also not replying to their reviews. The second person is replying to their reviews. So with that being said, the second person is more likely to get prioritization, including many other factors, right, from Google, because they're looking after these small details. We actually have AI that replies to reviews and things like that, which is super important. And we can talk about that later. When it comes to customers, let's actually talk about the customers, right, versus the different tools that we can have to reach the customers. 82% of consumers rate an immediate response as important, chatbot. 90% of customers rate an immediate response as important or very important, if they have a service-related question. So what most small businesses are struggling with, we'll reiterate here, they can't answer their calls 24/7. We showed you in a previous webinar, the AI chatbot answers right away, just like you would, has all the information that you have about your company. Slow response equals lost lead. If you don't reach out or back to a person right away, then likely you're going to lose that. You're likely going to lose that lead. I think the data says you want to reach out to them within about 5 minutes. That's going to increase your chance by a lot. I'm going to pull that stat really quickly. Okay, we'll pull that stat real quick. While I'm pulling that, repeating the same questions every day is redundant for your team, right? And kind of a waste of money and time for you when you can have AI do it. Inconsistent customer interactions. One day customers good. Have you ever went to a restaurant, right? You go and eat there, and the first time you eat there, it's like, man, this is good, this is delicious. And then you go there like a day later, and it is absolute baloney. It's not good at all. That happens all the time. I'm not going to name a restaurant or anything like that because maybe we're working with that restaurant or they're really cool people or something like that. But just an example. Um, I want to circle back before I go on to the slow response equals lost lead. Um, so if you contact a lead back within 5 minutes, you are 100 times more likely to make contact and 21 times more likely to qualify that lead. After 5 minutes, the chance will drop off of a cliff. So after 10 minutes, your odds drop by 80%. Leads begin to forget who you are, move on to other providers, or lose buying energy. After 60 minutes, the lead value is almost gone. And after 24 hours, it's no longer a hot lead. Response rate and close rate fell by 90 or more percent. There we go. And also, let's continue to go on. So, inconsistent customer interactions, no system to capture leads automatically. This creates a bottleneck that kills your revenue. That's exactly what it does. AI as your 24/7 customer rep. So, like the things that we mentioned, it's going to respond right away. It knows about your company and it learns over time like an employee would. It's going to reduce your workload. It's going to increase trust and perceived professionalism. And that is largely going to be due to consistency. That's our plight, consistency. I can not tell you how many businesses don't have a high level of consistency. And that's what we see. Once you implement that, that is greatly going to increase your rates of conversion. So a little bit about why Google rewards chatbots. So Google sees a chatbot as, they're going to have lower bounce rate because many of the people who come to your website, they're going to engage, faster satisfaction. It's going to have really great UI UX typically, like this, and they're simple to use. And things like that. And people find it helpful, right? They would much rather just ask a quick question by typing it in versus, moving off the website, calling you, talking to you. Somebody might have an attitude. We don't know. I'm not saying that any of your employees have an attitude, but that just kind of gives an example. 38% increase in the average session duration when a chatbot is present. That's from intercom.com 2023 result or stat. 70% of users interact with a chatbot before leaving a website. 70%. That's pretty big. Sites with engagement tools like chat, review, or something like that see a 20% higher ranking over time. And when I say ranking, that means SEO ranking. So they see over time a 20% increase in their overall SEO and ranking in Google. Chatbots reduce bounce rate by 15 to 35%. Google's own core update states that satisfying user intent quickly is a direct ranking signal. That's big, you guys. That's pretty big. And not to mention, chatbots increase conversions by 20 to 40% for service businesses. Websites with chat convert 2 to 3 times more inbound traffic, not to mention some stats say that chatbot increased conversions by up to 70%. Yeah. All right, let's move to the next. Oh, actually, yeah. And as you can see here goes the kind of like a chatbot window. We'll go over some examples there too, you guys. I'm going to read some comments real quick so we can interact. So Shazib says, this is exactly what every business owner needs right now. Hey, Shazib, I agree with you. I agree. It's great, right? It's great. And Muhammad Ahmed says, a very useful and much needed webinar, especially, Let me read that again. A very useful and much needed webinar, especially for small businesses that are trying to find their way. Exactly. I agree with you. I agree with you. Okay. All right. Let me go back. We kind of skipped ahead, you guys. Kind of skipped ahead. All right. So let's talk about the database and digital strategy. The local search opportunity. So we'll talk about some data here. 46% of Google searches are local, right? 76% of local smartphone searches result in a same day visit. That sounds like 9 times out of 10 they're looking to buy some stuff from you guys. 98% of consumers use Google to find a local business. 50% trust online reviews as much as a personal recommendation. What do we say about social proof, right? 93% expect businesses to respond to reviews, and response rates influence ranking and conversion. So let's say you go to somebody and they get like a 1-star review, right? They get like 1,000 reviews and it's like a 1-star. Chances are you're not gonna go there, especially if it involves health or food. It's like, I'm not going there where somebody could, possibly, like, I don't know, spit in my food or something. I'm just saying that's the kind of impression that reviews give. It makes you come off as not professional. Some people don't really care about reviews like that, but I would say the vast majority of people do. But you always got that one. They're like, oh man, well, I'm going to say when I was growing up and I went back to look at this place, but there's a small burger place in Spartanburg, South Carolina. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I used to eat there. They got like a 2.3 and the food is flight, meaning good. But the thing about it is customer service not that good, and there's a lot of other things not that good. It provides an inconsistent experience. If they were to increase and improve that and get it to like a 4.0, 4.5, their business would increase drastically. Okay. So let's talk about Google Business Profile Strategy, which if you're a small business and you don't have one of these, you're missing out on a lot of free business. I'll just say that. We like to do a checklist. And if you guys would like me to send this deck over to you, just let me know and I'll hook it up for you. Categories optimized. So make sure that you're showing up in the right category. So if you're like a tour operator or like a parasail company, you shouldn't be showing up in food or restaurants, right? 750 character keyword rich description. So make sure you got a good description, high quality photos. And I put an example right there. These photos right here are very high quality. In fact, I'm going to share my screen so I can show you how high quality those photos are. Okay. So we'll go here. Oh, sorry, I didn't add it to stage yet. Okay. Yeah. So here goes some of the high quality photos, right? And mind you, these are fans and clients, customers taking these photos for her, and they're sending them over. They're posting them themselves, right? But you see all of this. You see all of the clear, beautiful photos, and you're like, I want to do that, right? So you can see the people on the boat and all these other things, right? So here's an example. And like I said about reviews, this particular company has a lot of really great reviews. And like I said, they're also posting videos of the time that they had. And that is what is really going to speak to other people. What experience did they have with said company? So we'll move on to the next. I showed you guys about reviews. I think it's a given, right? But we have AI that can respond to reviews automatically, right? And all of these things. So you don't have to do that because it is tedious, and some people get more reviews than others. And so you want to make sure that you're consistently responding to it. You don't want to miss one of them. So I know that we got maybe 5 minutes for the webinar, but I also wanted to talk a little bit about the website experience, right? So website is going to be super important. And a couple of things that we want to mention, and I'm going to show you guys, is let's go to this website. This is a company that we host their website. We also built their website. They're a tour operator based out of the Raleigh-Durham area in North Carolina. And as you can see here, they've got the chat bot right here. So if I want to ask them a question, do do you guys have any jet skis? Let's see what it says. Let's see what the AI says. It's replying back to me. Okay. It has a little pause in there to make it seem like a real person's doing it, but it's really AI, right? Okay. We'll give that some time to populate. But if you look on the page itself, you can see that it is very informative. It says exactly where it's located, right? In North Carolina. Okay, we got the chat. Let's switch back to the chat. Yes, we offer luxury sea-doo, jet ski rentals, including this, including that. Are you looking for an unforgettable experience out on the water? Sure. So I can keep talking to it, and then it'll continue to give me all the information. With some APIs like Fair Pro, we can actually, um, and a lot of payment POSs for restaurants, we can actually integrate into their systems to pull real time availability, which is really cool. So then it's going to conversationally get my information stored in the CRM. I'm not going to go over that part though. But yeah, you see, it has all the information that I need on the website, client reviews. I can click here to book a spot, and it's a beautiful layout. It looks professional, and I think it represents their business very well. It even has testimonials. So these are some of the things that we want to make sure that we have in place when we're building a website, right? It's clear, it loads fast as a chat bot, and there's a lot of social proof. Okay. So like we're talking about chat bots, I've got some data here, and websites using a chat bot, they saw a 23% higher conversion rate compared to those without. One firm found that chatbots for sales reduced SDR, which is sales development representatives, workload by 50% and improved conversions by 2.5% when using generative AI for lead qualification. SEO and content. Okay. Your audience does not need advanced SEO, but what they do need is pages that are built around wherever they live, city, and talks about the service. That way, it's easy for you to be found on Google. They need an FAQ section, right? So they can be able to go on your website and learn about your company. And you need internal links, right? So, if they need to click anywhere or around the website or visiting specific links, and you need to keep your business profile updated. I can't stress this enough. A lot of people, they'll have nothing on their Google business profile. They don't have any FAQs on their Google business profile or anything like that. They don't have some people don't even have their address. If you're remote, I understand, but they don't have any reviews. They got like one review from themselves. And it doesn't work that way. You got to kind of build these things, these fundamental things, and you got to start there, right? So let's talk about follow-up systems. Like I said about the chatbot. So if we go over to, back to Let's Go Water Sports, right? I can go here, conversate, and have a conversation with the chatbot. And what it's going to do is it's going to conversationally get my name and my information. Okay. Do that through conversation. All right, sounds fantastic. Buzzly, buzzly, blah. And it's going to get what I'm looking for. It's going to store my information, my email, my phone number into the CRM. And then after that, what it's going to do is it's going to follow up with me at a later time, which is really cool, through text and through email. And that's going to re-engage me to come back in. And then it's going to be able to add me to like a newsletter list. So you can use these leads to market to them later, right? And so this is going to be super important. True business doesn't really come to the fourth or fifth follow-up, right? And that's going to be super important. Yeah, we'll pull some data there too to talk about how important the follow-up is, and the lead nurturing. So 80% of all sales happen after the 5th to 12th follow-up. You might be thinking, we're D2C. We don't work with businesses. Why does follow-up matter? It does. You re-engage people, it reminds them. Sometimes people like shopping. I used to work in e-commerce. Their dog will bark and they'll forget to place the order, right? People don't have huge attention spans, right? So you have to follow up to re-engage them. 48% of salespeople never follow up once. 25% stop after the second touch, and 80% of conversions, like I said, happen on the 5th to the 12th follow-up. Only 2% of sales happen on the first contact. Think about that. Companies that respond quickly and follow up consistently generate 391% more revenue. 391%. 60% of customers say no at least 4 times before saying yes. I'll tell you guys something bad. When they say no, that really means yes. No, it's not a great appropriate context, right? But you get the point. 78% of customers buy from the first company that follows up consistently. Follow-up increases close rate by 25 to 50% in service businesses, tour operators, rentals, local businesses, contractors. 92% of sales reps give up before the customer is ready to buy. I rest my case. I don't even think I need to go farther on this slide, right? So let's talk about an action plan before we get out of here. I know we're 1 minute over time, but this is important, you guys. I want you guys to know this stuff. Week 1, we're going to focus on visibility. That's what we're going to do. And if you guys want this deck, let me know and I'll send it over. Feel free to leave a comment. First week, right? Update your Google business profile. That's the first thing. Make sure it's good to go. We can help you there. We'd love to help you. Optimize photos and categories. Make sure you got some good quality photos. Make sure you're not like a medical practice and you're showing as a restaurant, right? Or like some Italian restaurant in Las Vegas. Fix your website in CTAs. Make sure your website's clear and it's easy to make conversion. Week 2, we're going to build trust. Review acquisition system, right? Is it easy for customers to be able to buy things from you? AI review replies, reply to your reviews. Website social proof added. Also, reaching out to customers that's worked with you before that never leave a review, but they had a great experience. Like, hey, can you leave me a review? Week 3, we're going to focus on conversion and system. We're going to focus on conversion and service. Install an AI chatbot. In fact, do that week 1. Add an FAQ section and improve mobile speed. Some people, they'll focus on desktop. Like, oh, this looks good on desktop, but most people are viewing from their phone. And then their mobile experience, they'll have like this huge banner that takes up all this memory and storage space, and it takes 22 seconds for their website to load. That's a no-go. We need to focus on mobile first, and then everything else follows. Week 4, follow-up systems. We need to automate our lead nurture. Are we reaching out to people multiple times? Create a reactivation message and send one promotional email or SMS. I'm telling you, we send this, it will work. It will work. It's great and it's proven. So some of the things that we can help with, I'm just going to give a soft pitch here, right? We build the systems for you so you can focus on running your business. Ranking optimization, Google business profile and SEO, AI chatbot setup, website monetization. So we're going to make it more modern looking, or modernization. Amazing customer service, automation, review setup, and also lead capture and nurture automation. We can help you with all those. Everything that we do will increase ROI. We typically see a 2,000 to 4,000% increase in ROI. So now I want to leave it open for some questions and answers. And then after that, we're just going to be giving away an offer. So we'll spend just maybe like a minute or two doing some questions. Mazia says, thank you for organizing these webinars. They're really helpful. Thank you, Mazia. I'm very happy that you guys find them helpful. I think they're quite helpful. I actually learned stuff through them as well, which is really great. Afifa says, really useful information. And the stats you're sharing are impressive. Didn't know about these. Definitely eye-opening. It's very eye-opening, right? Who would have known that following up can increase your revenue by 391%, right? Shazib says, what's the process for getting a free website and how can we apply for it? Hey, it's getting to the point. So that is our offer. Actually, if you need a website or a better website, all you got to do is pay for your hosting. We'll do everything else for free. Host your website with us. We'll take care of everything. The process is that all you need to do is reach out to us. You can reach out to us at support@ellingtontech.com. And we'll also be emailing everyone. You can just reply back to that email and just say, I want a free website. And then we'll set up a quick, 10 to 30 minute call with you to just chat with you and see exactly what you're looking for. And then from there, we'll move forward. That's pretty much all we got to do. So thank you for that question. And I'll put the support email on the screen. Okay. Great questions, you guys. So I know we're over time. If anybody has any questions, feel free to throw them in there. But other than that, I'm just going to go to the last slide, which is the offer. If you would like a free website, email us at support@ellingtontech.com and we'll make that happen. Thank you all for joining the webinar. It's always a pleasure speaking with everyone. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Peace.